The time is 3100 BC. The Egyptians just invented a new tool in their labs, created from the highest quality of wood and leather, decorated with gold and gems. Behold, the pinnacle of luxury and comfort, a chair. Yeah, it's chair. But little did they know that in the near future, their invention would be used to execute people using electricity, resulting in something that we all know as the electric chair. The story begins in 1881 in New York. A guy named Smith had a very peculiar hobby, not about slapping someone. His crazy hobby was giving himself little electric zaps without knowing that it could be fatal. One night, Smith, in a drunken quest for that electric dopamine rush, made his way to the powerhouse company. And somehow, he managed to get close to a large electric dynamo and grab the ground of one of the generators. And well, he died instantly. The medical examiner in charge explained the whole case of Smith to the Buffalo Scientific Society, most likely to get some kind of solution to prevent any further electrocution incidents from happening. But they did not know that there was a mad lad among them who had a very interesting idea. It's Alfred Southwick, a dentist by profession, but also an inventor. After hearing the shocking story of Smith, Alfred's mind sparked with possibilities. What Alfred saw was to use the electrocution thing as a way of executing criminals. But why was he doing all this in the first place? So, back in the 1880s, the go-to method for execution was hanging. But this method didn't have a 100% kill ratio. At that time, a lot of barge hanging incidents were popping up and people were not happy with it and started criticizing hanging as the capital punishment. So, in response, the New York State Governor, David Hill, created a commission to find a more human way of execution. And guess who was on the committee? Yes, Alfred Southwick. So he started working on creating a prototype for his electric chair with the help of a physician named George Fell. George Fell was a surgeon and an inventor. Like Alfred Southwick, they both explored the working of electrocution and how to use it to execute criminals. And for their experimentations, used stray dogs to get the correct metric and materials right for the process. After some time, they worked out the calculations based on the experiments done on the dogs and were trying to scale up the whole thing for humans. Finally, on 4th June 1889, Governor David Hill approved the use of electric chairs for executing criminals. Mission completed, right? Well, no, there was a problem. The bill itself didn't mention two crucial details. The details were the amount of current that should be used and which type of current to be used, AC or DC. This task was given to a group composed of doctors and lawyers to figure it out. And this is where the whole drama kicks off. The war of the currents. On one side, we have George Westinghouse representing AC, alternating current. And on the other side, we have Thomas Edison representing DC, direct current. It was a tech face-off of the century. They both were competing over how electric power should be transferred from one place to another. Both had advantages and disadvantages. DC was safer as it operated at lower voltages, making it a stable option for homes. But it had a major flaw. It was terrible for long distance power transmission, and it was a lot more difficult to higher or lower voltage. AC, on the other hand, was perfect for sending electric power over long distances and could change voltages easily using something called transformers. As the use of AC was spreading rapidly, Edison started making his move by spreading propaganda about AC being more dangerous and was putting the public safety at risk since AC uses high voltage. And then he was presented with the perfect stage to spread his propaganda, the electric chair. This is where two stories get intertwined and the result was an all-out war on whether to use AC or DC for electric chairs. One of the committee member, Mr. Brown, who also saw that AC was putting the public in danger and wanted to show how dangerous AC was. And to prove his point, Mr. Brown set up an experiment in front of the media and the members of commission where he performed electrocution using 750 volt of alternating current on 4 calves and a horse. And at the end of the experiment, all of them died. After this experimentation, the committee decided to go forward with AC as a type of the current to be used for the execution. Westinghouse slammed the whole experiment as being biased just to attack the AC system. This was actually not a baseless claim, as the whole experiment took place at West Orange Lab, which is owned by Edison himself. And it turns out Mr. Brown did take some assistance from Edison, raising serious questions about the fairness of the test. Obviously, Mr. Brown denied the claims. But media already started printing multiple articles against the AC system about how dangerous AC is and how it is risking public safety. Thomas Edison went on to win this propaganda war, and the public image of AC took a major hit from this event. Once the details were finalized, the only real thing left was to actually use it on a human being and see how humane and effective this method really was. Professionals were still skeptical about this method of execution, but the bill had already passed and someone had to be the first one to be executed using this method. Joseph
Chapleau,
convicted of beating his neighbor to death with a slit stake. He was supposed to be the first one to be executed by electrocution, but later his sentence changed to life imprisonment. The next in line was William Kemmler, convicted of killing his wife with a hatchet and was chosen to be executed using electrocution. On 6th August 1890, in New York's Auburn prison, they gave 1000 volt of AC shock to Kemmler, but it failed. He became unconscious but wasn't able to stop his heart. They decided to give him another shock, but this time using 2000 volts. The blood vessels were destroyed, and according to some witnesses, his body even caught fire. The whole electrocution took around 8 fucking minutes. The aftermath was brutal. Multiple reports flooded in, and George Westinghouse was the first one to slam it, saying they would have done a better job using an axe. What a savage. Even the New York Times ran the headline, "Far worse than hanging. It was a nightmare." Even after electric chairs were criticized, multiple states adopted this method. Ohio in 1897, New Jersey in 1906, and soon it became the go-to method of execution in United States, replacing hanging. But its use started to decline after 1979 when lethal injection became the preferred method. Today, only a few places still offer the electric chair as an option: Alabama, Florida, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Regarding the AC-DC drama, even after Westinghouse lost the propaganda war, AC ultimately won the war, becoming widely used across the country. The deciding moment came with the implementation of AC technology at the Niagara Falls hydroelectric project in the mid-1890s. Meanwhile, Edison's General Electric Company merged with Thomas Houston Electric Company. After the merger, Edison's influence over the new company faded. And guess what? The new company adopted AC technology. Yep, Edison's own company became what he hated the most. And there you have it, the shocking tale of how the electric chair came to be and the electrifying drama between AC and DC. Who knew that trying to find a more humane way to execute people would turn out into such a fucking mess? From frying animals to zapping humans, and the epic showdown between the two electric titans. The story had it all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Please whatever.